So this story actually starts about a year ago when I found a video on YouTube about a woman who had lived a whole year sustainably, and all of the waste she had produced in that single year fit into one mason jar. Then about 2 weeks ago in environmental science, we were assigned a project, make an art project that has to do with the environment. And I immediately thought of that video. I knew I wanted to combine film, saving the planet, and this class project. So I eventually thought of what a waste. I decided to build upon the original YouTube video I had seen, and I came up with a 3-part plan. The first part of my plan was me. I'm not a very sustainable person. Every day I pack a brown sack lunch full of things wrapped in plastic. Most of my clothes are from fast fashion brands. All of my makeup comes in plastic. So the plan I came up with is for 1 week I would try to live sustainably and limit the amount of waste I produced. During the week I would collect all of the waste I would usually just throw away to see how much I would affect the environment. The waste I'm collecting fits into 4 separate categories. The first one is compostable. At the end of the week, I will put all the compostable waste into my dad's compost. The second type is recyclable. At the end of the week, I hope to clean, organize, and then bring to wherever they need to be recycled. The next type of waste is non-reusables. These are plastics or things that I can't compost or recycle. At the end of the week, I hope to think of ways I can limit their use and also cry about how I failed Mother Nature. Kidding. Maybe guilt myself into not using them again. The next type of waste is to-be waste. I realized a huge loophole in this project is to just use large waste items but not throw them away in that week. For instance, maybe I'll have a glass of milk but I'll throw the bottle away next week. So what I'm going to do is put a post-it on it and group it into our other 3 categories at the end of the week. Step 2 of what a waste is trying to limit the amount of waste each of my households produce. In both my houses, we're already doing a lot to be sustainable, but I think there can be a lot more. So I'm going to try to convince my parents to waste less. The third part of what a waste is influencing the world around me. Maybe if I record something like this and show it to people, they'll be inspired to live waste-free too. And then maybe they'll tell their friend about their experience, and that friend will go on and tell their friend. And then everyone, the whole world will become sustainable, and we'll all hold hands and rejoice in the fact that we're not using plastic anymore. To start off the week, I decided to go shopping for food that I could eat that wouldn't be as unsustainable as some of the things I ate in the past. I looked for things that either didn't have wrappers, or if they did, they were something that was recyclable. The next day, I went through all the food I got and took off all of the wrappers and made sure to put them in their respective trash piles. My mom also showed me how to make a leek and rice dish, which I was surprised that I actually liked. So, it seemed as though living sustainably wouldn't be so hard. But day 3 signaled the start of the week, which meant I had school, which meant I couldn't go back to using brown paper bags and lots of plastic bags. I had to make my own sustainable lunch. I ended up making myself a salad, throwing in some dressing, an apple, and yogurt. I put them all in Tupperware and I put everything into a reusable bag. By day 4, garbage had started piling up around my house. It all either came from sources I thought wouldn't be a problem, or from sources that I thought I used infrequently, but I actually used quite a lot. By day 5, I started to carry out part 2 of my plan and try to make both of my households more sustainable. First, I put up little signs that made sure my family would turn off their lights when leaving a room. Then I looked into going paperless for bank statements and other utilities we had to pay for. I even talked to my parents about reducing the amount of plastic we had in the house, and I changed some of our bulbs to LEDs. By day 6, I had fallen into a pattern. All the meals I would make would either be egg-based or would be something in a recyclable can, like soup. I was getting tired of only eating 2 or 3 foods, but when I looked in the trash, I was happy to see that without me producing a lot of waste, my family barely produced any waste at all. So, 7 days are over. As you can see, things didn't go to plan. Turns out everything is packaged. We have the recyclable stuff, the compostable stuff, and the non-reusable stuff. For the recyclable, I will have to go through it. Like, I got a lot of mail that's just, it has like the plastic part on it. Rough. I think I did a pretty good job with composting. Half of this stuff isn't here because it's already been composted at my dad's, but this stuff is about half of what I produced in a week. The non-reusable, it really got me. 3 things I found that produced the most waste is having a birthday, leaving your house, and being sick. For my birthday, I assumed I had gotten everything I would get, and then I saw my grandma. Then it was going out. I went out to dinner 3 times, and every time the waste that I had at the table, I was like, wow, this is a lot. And then I was also thinking about all of the energy and materials it takes to even get the food to a restaurant or to store the food. And then the 3rd thing is being sick. Didn't plan on it, but I had to have cough drops once an hour, and I took flu medicine for 5 days. Just more things that I was using that can't be recycled.
I'm sure we could fit this into a mason jar if we really tried.
Okay, so these are all of the to-be wastes. It's mainly makeup. I kind of didn't think about how me putting things on my face is affecting the environment. Literally everything in this pile is made of plastic that can't be reused again. The food products I have that I've used, most of these are recyclable. I think that I'm definitely going to continue eating sustainably because turns out salads aren't as bad as I thought. I definitely need to think about what makeup I'm buying. But yeah, I think that this was definitely an eye-opening experience, and I highly suggest it. It forces you to look at your actions as more, this is something that's going to be in the environment forever, and I am the one who's going to put it there. I'm definitely going to think about what I consume. It's basically a success. That's what I wanted. There you go. Maybe before you go to the store and buy a bunch of things covered in plastic, you could not do that.